It's interesting how we often find ourselves on the receiving end of someone's complaints. You know that feeling when someone unloads their problems on you? It's like a weight drops on your shoulders, right? It's draining. Nobody enjoys being around a constant complainer, unless, of course, you're in that same boat. We all complain from time to time. It's part of being human. But have you ever stopped to think about how often you do it? If you're unsure, just ask your friends or coworkers. They'll give you the honest truth. Now let's clarify. I'm not talking about sharing your struggles to find solutions or updating loved ones on life's ups and downs. That's healthy. It's about the endless cycle of negativity that can really bring everyone down. So next time you feel the urge to vent, consider if it's constructive or just another round of complaints. Remember, attitude truly is everything. Nobody wants to hear about your aches and pains. Seriously, when you say, "My back is killing me," what do you expect me to do? I'm not a doctor. I can't fix your sinus headache or your stomach ache. And let's be honest, nobody wants to hear the gory details. I had this green stuff oozing out of my... Really? Do we need to go there? It's like a competition of misery. You share your flu story, and suddenly your friend's got a tale of a 104-degree fever and a near-death experience. It's exhausting. Complaining about pain doesn't just drag you down. It drags everyone around you down too. Instead of bonding over our ailments, let's focus on something uplifting. Because if we keep talking about our discomfort, we're just inviting more of it into our lives. So let's save the medical drama for the doctors and find something better to chat about. Rainy days often get a bad rap, don't they? People look out the window and groan, "What a miserable day." But why let a little moisture dictate our mood? I say, it's wet out, but it's a great day. Complaining about the weather doesn't change it. It's just water falling from the sky, and it has no real impact on our lives. Then there are those petty complaints. The waiter took too long, or why does John have a bigger window? Seriously, life is too short to get bogged down by trivial annoyances. When you focus on the small stuff, you're not just wasting energy, you're also revealing how you might handle real challenges. So the next time it rains or something doesn't go your way, remember, it's all about perspective. Embrace the day, no matter the weather. Recently, I found myself in my office, caught up in my own complaints about how things weren't going as planned. You know the drill, results lagging, frustrations building. Then Pedro walked in. This young man, just in his 20s, came to this country from Honduras 6 years ago. Always smiling, always positive. But when I asked him about Hurricane Mitch, his smile faded. He shared the heartbreaking reality: thousands dead, millions homeless, and his own family's fate unknown. Can you imagine the agony of not knowing if your loved ones are alive? Yet, instead of wallowing in despair, Pedro was out there collecting money and necessities, actively helping those in need. It hit me hard. My problems were trivial compared to his. After talking to him, I realized how fortunate I am. I stopped complaining and faced the day with renewed energy. Weeks later, I saw Pedro again, still smiling, despite his family losing everything. He could easily whine about his situation, but he chooses action over complaint. Pedro taught me that complaining is a waste of time. Life has a funny way of reminding us what really matters. I've seen it time and again. People getting worked up over the smallest inconveniences. A flat tire? Suddenly, it's the end of the world. Family feuds over seating arrangements at weddings? It's baffling how easily we lose perspective. Perspective is about understanding what's truly important. Eddie Rickenbacker, a World War I hero, drifted for 21 days in a life raft, facing starvation and dehydration. After that ordeal, he said something profound. If you have all the fresh water you want to drink and all the food you want to eat, you ought never complain about anything. Imagine that. When we focus on the essentials, our health, our loved ones, we realize how trivial most of our complaints really are. So, the next time you find yourself frustrated, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? Keeping things in perspective can transform our outlook and lead to a more fulfilling life. I want to take a moment to share some things I'm truly grateful for. First and foremost, I'm in good health, and so is my family. That alone is a blessing. We have our own home, a place that feels safe and welcoming. Every day, we have plenty of food to eat and clean water to drink, essentials that many take for granted. Living in the United States, I cherish the freedom we enjoy. which allows me to pursue my passions. I love my work. It gives me purpose and fulfillment. I'm fortunate to travel and meet fascinating people, each encounter enriching my life. I'm surrounded by loyal friends who support me through thick and thin. And most importantly, I draw strength from my relationship with God, which guides me every day. Reflecting on these blessings reminds me that life is filled with gifts if we just take the time to notice them. This is just a glimpse of the blessings in my life. I often find myself caught up in the daily grind, and I start taking these gifts for granted. But then I pause and reconnect with what truly matters. It's amazing how a simple shift in perspective can boost my mood and realign my focus. Think about it. What have you been complaining about lately? Are those issues really as critical as they seem? Next time you feel the urge to vent, grab a pen and paper. Write down everything you're grateful for. It's a powerful exercise. You'll be surprised at how quickly your mindset shifts. Gratitude has a way of silencing complaints and illuminating the good in our lives. So let's choose appreciation over frustration. It's a game changer. I've realized that instead of dwelling on my problems, I can choose to be a source of positive news. Complaining doesn't help. It just reinforces my pain and makes me a burden to others. When I feel tired, instead of sharing my woes, I focus on solutions like exercising more or getting to bed earlier. It's amazing how shifting my mindset can change my energy. I've noticed that people are drawn to those who uplift rather than drag down. So I'm making a conscious effort to cut down on complaints and fill my conversations with positivity. After all, who wants to hear about negativity when we can share uplifting stories? Let's be the kind of people others want to be around, spreading joy instead of complaints.